talking about Finding Nemo and the 5 Stages of Grief. You may have watched this classic Pixar film as a child, but I bet you never realized the movie isn't actually about a father trying to find his son. It's about Marlin progressing through the 5 stages of grief. Swiss psychiatrist Elisabeth Kubler-Ross developed a model for the emotional stages one goes through when grieving. These stages include denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. While not everyone goes through all 5 stages in a linear fashion, or goes through all 5 stages at all, Marlin's journey through the ocean clearly shows his progression through the 5 stages of grief. The first stage, denial, is a defense mechanism that allows the individual to endure the loss or grieve what they are experiencing. Marlin enters this first stage when he experiences the loss of almost his entire family, except Nemo, when they are all killed by a barracuda. After this brutal attack, Marlin is no longer the happy and ambitious fish that was shown at the beginning of the film. He doesn't seem sad or depressed per se, but he hasn't quite come to terms with or accepted what has happened to him. Marlin has convinced himself that he is okay because at least he still has Nemo. Marlin clings to Nemo for hope and assurance that everything is okay and believes that they are both truly happy with the life they are living. This results in Marlin being an overly protective parent and cautious with Nemo since he doesn't ever want anything bad to happen to him. However, Nemo is not happy. He is not able to live freely and explore the ocean. Naturally, this leads to Nemo rebelling and wanting to push the boundaries Marlin has set. After taking Nemo to his first day of school, Marlin becomes nervous and goes to check on Nemo, where he finds him venturing into the deep water and trying to touch a boat, something he knows he's not supposed to do. This is when we see Marlin shift from denial to the stage of anger. While it may seem as though Marlin's anger is all due to Nemo disobeying him, it's actually mostly because in that moment, Marlin is forced to consider a worst-case scenario, something bad happening to his only remaining family member. This creates a sense of lost control over Nemo and results in Marlin becoming very angry and upset. Nemo is taken by a diver when he touches the boat, which leads to Marlin entering the third stage, bargaining. After Nemo is taken by the diver, Marlin enters the bargaining stage, where he continuously rationalizes that he will be able to find Nemo. Marlin has hope. He believes that he will be able to find his son if he can just get through all the obstacles. Find the goggles of the diver, get through the jellyfish, find 42 Wallaby Way, etc. But as Dory says, he needs to just keep swimming and keep going until he eventually finds himself in a whale's belly where he's unable to get out. By this point, Marlin starts to feel discouraged and defeated and enters the depression stage. Marlin slowly sinks to the bottom of the whale and loses hope that he will ever find his son. After Dory and Marlin are flung to the back of the whale's throat, Marlin grabs onto the whale's tongue. Dory then tells Marlin that it's time to let go. Everything's going to be all right. To which Marlin asks, "How do you know? How do you know something bad isn't going to happen?" This line applies to their current situation, but it's also a metaphor for Marlin working through his grief and needing to let go, literally and metaphorically. Dory replies that she doesn't know if something bad will happen, and Marlin has to make the choice to let go and accept that there's a possibility that something bad could happen. This is where Marlin finally enters the acceptance stage. He accepts that there are things out of his control, and no matter how hard one tries, sometimes bad things do happen, and there's nothing you can do about it. Marlin and Dory make it out of the whale, and the story comes full circle when Marlin eventually finds Nemo, and he's injured. Marlin holds him and says, "It's okay, Daddy's got you," which exactly recreates a scene from the beginning of the film after Coral and his family were killed, and Marlin finds Nemo and holds him and says, "It's okay, Daddy's got you." The storyline is nicely wrapped up here, and Marlin finally accepts that he lost his family, except Nemo, and decides to live more freely and enjoy being with Nemo instead of constantly living in fear, trying to protect and save Nemo from things that are out of their control.